In Libya, it's a really interesting project. I mean, I'm a protection officer in my heart and in my mind and in most of my practice, but this time I was asked by my NGO to be the country director, which was kind of a big step up. I never really pictured myself as senior management. I always saw myself as a field person. I still do. But this was not only doing protection work, but also mine action. We're one of few NGOs that has both mine action and protection, and we're trying really hard to integrate both of those activities. So on the face of it, it seemed a really tall order and two things completely not related. But my experience is that mine action is very much a form of protection. It's just never been painted that way, I think, because most of the practitioners are former military, and so they don't see themselves as the soft, squishy human rights kind of, humanitarians. They see themselves as quasi-military professionals, disarming explosive devices, which they are. But I don't think the two things are contradictory. And the donors also seem to respond to integrating mine action with other traditional humanitarian activities. So I think this is the future of mine action as really more integrated into the humanitarian projects more generally. So I'll be interested to see how it goes on, because they're two sectors that don't typically cross paths a lot. My interest in human rights comes from a long time ago. I was a Rotary Club exchange student in high school in the 70s, and I went to Argentina as an exchange student and loved the place. I was there for 1 year to do my last year of high school. I decided to stay to do university there, and 1 month into my orientation at university there was a coup d'etat, and that was the beginning of what was later called the Dirty War, where upwards of 30,000 people were just disappeared, tortured, killed. And so human rights took on a very different look, seeing them up close and personal. I was very young, and back in the 70s, very few people had careers in human rights. And so it kind of got back-burnered, and I ended up in IT for almost 20 years. And it was only with the end of the Cold War, as the Soviet Union started to fall apart, that a lot of things just started to come together. I just felt some obligation that I had to do something. I wasn't sure exactly what I could do. Like a lot of young people, I thought I could change the world. And sometimes the people you affect the most aren't the ones you were even trying to reach. You can have an effect on people without even knowing. And sometimes it's just by being present, just by being a witness to what's happened in a country and telling other people what's happened. If nothing else, I like to think I can at least plant a seed in the minds of lots of different people about why they should care when these things happen. When somebody's human rights are violated, why, even if you'll never go to that country and you don't understand the politics and you don't speak the language, why should I care anyway? Because that's a question I get from students. It's like, why should I care? What difference does it make? I think the most challenging thing is convincing people to open up their mind to a new idea. Not even to tell them what it is, but to just get people to entertain the idea that they might be, if not wrong, but at least that there's another way to look at it. But I have to remind myself that I have to do it as well. The fact that I've done lots and lots of missions doesn't mean that I know any more than anybody else. I've had a lot of experiences maybe others haven't had, but each one is new. Having done 15 missions doesn't tell me a thing about the next mission. Not a thing. I have to start fresh and assume I know nothing. And so doing that for myself and trying to convince others is probably the hardest part.